Hello, this is a tutorial on the PC12. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is severely lacking in documentation and explanation of each of the aircraft. The PC12 is a great aircraft and is introduced to the user quite early in career mode. So with my best effort, I want to make a quick guide so you guys can have something to latch onto in trying to understand the aircraft. While it's also fairly advanced for how early it's introduced, in my opinion. So yeah, let's get started. First, I want to go through what I'm gonna explain for you. First off, I'm gonna do basic navigation, how to plan and make an IFR flight plan in the native flight planner of the flight sim. Then I'll begin the cold and dark startup and navigation and cockpit configuration. And lastly, autopilot in flight, where I'll explain the different autopilot modes and how to work the autopilot in the PC12. So let's get started. So to begin flight planning, use the native flight planner. It's planner.flightsimulator.com. You can choose your aircraft of your type. Today we're doing the PC12, and this is the big one, the route. Make sure it says IFR. It's a IFR rated plane. This is a IFR tutorial. And yeah, knots, it's okay, just let it stay. We'll be flying at flight level. There we go, flight level 250. Performance options is only to calculate your fuel burn. We will disregard everything with fuel burn today. I don't really care about it. Sorry. Origin, I'll be taking you from Sola to Torp. So you can, if you know your airport ICAO code, you just paste it in. If not, I think you can search for the city and it will guide you. If not, Google is your friend. We'll be going from Sola to Torp. It's quite easy. Either you can select what runway you want to use and then choose whichever departure that's the best for your departure or your direction. So here it's quite clearly Uplev 1 hotel. That's the nearest our route. Or we can do the lazy way and select auto select, and it's going to choose the best SID or the nearest SID automatically. I'm not sure how it figures out the runway, but I'm guessing it has METAR information, so it takes the wind that is currently in the sim and chooses runway based on that. Then the next thing we're going to do is kind of counterintuitive. We're going to skip route and we're going to go straight to arrival. Same thing, you can either add each star, standard arrival, or just auto select. Ulmig. That's great. Ulmig 7 Hotel. Okay, oh shit. Now for my route, normally I would just go direct but for the purpose of this tutorial, I will show you how to plan. Like, very basic. So we see there's an airway here through OSCOM that says Zulu 132, and it has a minimum height of flight level 95. So I can either go into here, or can I? Maybe I can't. Well, okay, I can't add the airway from there, but I could add it here if I wanted to. I could go Zulu 132, because that airway goes through via uplev, from uplev via OSCOM to Urmug. We see it here. And if I do like this, save, bada bing, bada boom. Or there's also the easy way here. Okay, so we're back. I just had to make a new flight plan, and I don't know how to delete it while I'm doing it. So the easy way is just press auto route, and it will go via the airway. I don't know why, but by pressing the auto route, it also chooses the approach. That's fine by me. And this is the important part. After you've made your flight plan, come down here, save flight plan, and we'll save it. I made one earlier to try this tutorial out before starting. Save flight plan. And now let's get into the simulator. Okay, so just quick, I've selected the aircraft, I've selected the departure airport and where I want to start, but I don't really care to add anything more here because I'm gonna do it all in the plane anyways. So start flight and sim salat, BIM! And here we are doing the walk around. There are 3 things that you need to do while on the walk around. Remove this, which doesn't have a click point on the big thing, but on the small thing. That's your pitahi. It measures your airspeed, basically. Yeah. Remove chocks and remove engine cover. That's all you need to do. You can of course do other stuff like check the wheels, and I don't care. I just want to fly. So Shift C to enter the aircraft, or you can click the door. Boom. Well, now we're inside. I'm gonna hide the yokes, and first thing we're gonna do inside is turn on the battery 1 and 2 and the avionics bus, and the nav light is on and EPS can go on. Of course these passenger lights, I don't care about it. Do what you want to do. Alright. Okay, before start, we're gonna open our inertial separator. So this makes it so that foreign object debris don't get sucked into the engine while on ground. So we use it during or while we're on the ground, taxi, departure and landing, and also if we fly through icing conditions. Yeah, so to start the engine, it's quite easy. Put the engine lever to run instead of off. Ignition can stay at auto, and press the starter. You will see the NG percentage start spinning up, and after a while you're gonna have this awful blurry heat coming from the engine, and then the propeller starts up. And after engine start, you can put the generator on both sides. Okay. So after start, you might want to get your ATIS. Then to get the ATIS, which is the weather and pressure setting for your altimeter, we can open the EFB here. And you remember the flight plan we made earlier. Here it is. Press load. And let us see. It should be down here. We have the airport parking chart. I think it's this one. I don't remember. Yeah, up here we have. Oh, and you can't scroll with your mouse wheel. My ATIS is at 126.0. And in real life, we use COM2 to listen to the ATIS. So I'm gonna select it here and select 126. Like this. Press it again, and 126 is now active.
Transition level 080. Advise on initial
we shouldn't
contact.
have
You
heard
have
anything now,
hotel.
but we do. Normally we would have to press
Airport information
COM2
hotel
in order to
1158 Zulu. Wind 170 at 5. Ceiling 5000 broken. Temperature 03.
Altimeter setting.
2.01. QNH 1004.
1004. Okay. So 1004 is the QNH setting, but here it's in inches of mercury. Thanks, America. So to change this, we need to go down here to the lower MFD. We need to click the lower MFD. Click page. Wait, sorry, upper. They've made it the other way around. Click page, go to avionics, and here everything in white is what's currently active, and the cyan is what's available. So here we have inches, but we want hectopascal. Click it once, and it's turned, and you can now see 1013 hectopascal. I don't remember what they said on the ATIS, but it was something like no. Huh. Weird. Anyways, you can also change other stuff like the wind. Now you get headwind and wind from the side. If you choose vector, you just get one arrow pointing exactly where the wind is coming from. I prefer the X and Y. And barosync makes it so that when I change this side, that copilot side follows. However, it does not sync the standby altimeter. This one you gotta set by yourself, and I don't think you can change this to hectopascals. Oof. Is there other stuff? Yeah, you can also choose what kind of flight director you want. I don't know what this is. And steep approach. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what this does. Sorry. Miscellaneous. This pop-up keyboard I will show you later. I also want to show you the transponder. I'll just set a random squawk, enter it, and you should see it come up here. And it says altitude and ground. You'll see when we take off that it will change to TARA. So for the easy way of making the flight plan or taking the flight plan into the FMC, sorry for the plane taking off, we can just go here, and here we will find the route we just made in the flight planner. It's much easier to make in the web page than in this EFB. And send route to avionics. Here we can see, let me do like this, center map. Okay, I will have to activate, and then I can check all the waypoints. Yeah, looks like a plan. I like heading up. Okay, thank you, heading up. So this is the easy way to implement the flight plan from your planner into the aircraft. Okay, so I deleted the flight plan just by restarting the flight, and here we can see, since I spawned in at Echo November Zulu Victor, that's already present, but I'm gonna type it in just because I'm a nice chill dude. And after inserting it, this panel will go straight to destination, and destination is ENTO. Here we have it, and click insert. The line will be drawn, and by the way, to zoom in and out, use this or click this, hold it, and then drag up or down. Click activate, and the route is now active. We could fly like this, but it's wrong. It would take you directly from this airport to Sandefjord, but we're gonna do it the right way, and we're gonna follow a standard instrument departure, or SID. So we were at this page. Now we can check, is it the altitude I want to be at? Yeah, sure. Cruise speed is okay. Fuel weight I don't care about. So let's click the takeoff or climb icon. Runway SID, I want to take off from runway 18 because that's the closest one to me. Or rather, you remember earlier when we planned this? We can go here, see what did we actually plan. Runway 36 and up one hotel, and of course you can't scroll with your mouse wheel in this window. You need to drag, it's a touch screen. Yeah, so go down, up lev, insert. and now there's another route that it wants to follow. And the suggestion comes in this cyan color. We're going to click activate, and we can see that all the points are there. Next thing we do is, well, we gotta insert the speeds. I'm fine with these speeds. They're probably correct. I don't care enough to look them up. So rotation speed is the VR. This is where you pull the yoke back and lift off from the runway. Vx is the speed of maximum angle of climb. So if you pitch up and have 120 knots, you're gonna get the highest and the least amount of distance. Vx is the best speed climb. I don't remember. Yeah, whatever. V Yankee is the best climb, 130. VT is the speed that's expected over the threshold. I don't really know how to use it. Transition altitude again. I'm just gonna write it in. 7,000 feet. And if we click send, it will appear over here. Rotation, best angle, best climb, and threshold. Alright. So now we've done our climb and performance initialization. Then we go straight to our descent because I want to load in the star already. And here we see that we are doing the Ulmig 7 Tango, runway 36. And we can choose between approaches, the ILS approach, the RNP or RNAV approach, the VOR DME or a visual approach. I really like the RNAV approach, RNP approach. And it asks for what transition do we want into that approach. So we're gonna go and find out. Here is our approach chart. We already planned with ILS, so we'll go back. So you can go back by clicking it again. I think it makes sense. So we'll go into the ILS and then we can look at the chart. And you can only zoom using these buttons. Alright, it takes us down to Unbom. Wait, that's the start. Here's the ILS. But it should be Unbom anyways. So we're gonna select Unbom. And our star or standard arrival was Ulmig 7 Tango. Click insert and we can see here that it has inserted many points. And lastly, the TOR hold, and the H here signifies that it's a hold. I do not know what the F means. Sorry. We'll click activate, and I think I saw, yeah, here there's a discontinuity. We can do two things. we can, or you can delete it, and let me show. So I'm gonna do cancel. So the discontinuity comes because after uplev, the aircraft doesn't know what's next. There's no line made for it already. You can just delete it, and it will assume that you want to go to the next waypoint in the flight plan from there, which is Ulmug. Let's activate it, and then we see it goes straight to Ulmug. But we don't want to go straight to Ulmug. If you remember, we want to go to OSCOM via the Zulu 132 airway. So we're gonna go here, amend route, and it says after uplev, we could either enter here. We need to use the keyboard here. I don't know why. OSCOM. Enter. And activate. We would still have discontinuity because the aircraft doesn't know what we want to do after OSCOM. And we could just delete the discontinuity and it would take us direct to Ulmig. It would be the same as flying the airway, but I'm gonna show you how to enter the airway instead. Alright, so we can click uplev, amend route, scroll down, and now we click join instead of writing in. And here all the airways that are present at that point are available. And where do we want to exit the airway? We want to exit at Ulvik. And insert. And now we can see OSCOM has showed up. And if there were more than just this one waypoint, they would also appear without us needing to write in each or add each of the waypoints on our own. Quite tiring. Yeah, looks good. Activate. So now we have our whole route. And I've showed you two ways to do it. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna do like this. Activate. All right. So the next thing would be to take off. By the way, this plane is broken. It taxis way too fast. So just be ready with your brakes. Alright, I kind of forgot to show you how to set up the autopilot earlier. First, we should set our target altitude, which you can see here. So I want to climb to 6,000 before going higher. And this outer knob selects or changes between the hundreds, and this inner is more efficient and goes between the thousands. And now we could use three modes: VNAV, flight level change, or vertical speed. Never use vertical speed for climb, because you will eventually stall. With flight level change, you have a set speed that the aircraft will climb at until it reaches the altitude you've set. So it will always maintain that indicated airspeed, which means you will never stall. It will just pitch down as the air mass gets lower the higher you come. I'm gonna use the FMS auto throttle. It's really shit. It doesn't really work. It tries, it chases itself and overcorrects. This is the heading bug. Very easy to use. Right click to make it center to your current heading. Anyways, nav is enabled and nav is armed. But roll is, maybe I should show that as well. If I disengage. So right now I have my flight directors on, but I don't have any modes selected really. So what's actually active is pitch mode. It will pitch to that pitch and it will roll however much roll I currently have until it reaches or captures the nav, the GPS track. But by using flight level change, we have a real autopilot mode. I want to do the same here. I want to use heading until we get to the or until nav or GPS is active. Okay, now I can choose between, do I want it to follow heading 357 or track 357? So heading would be the where the aircraft is pointing at, but because of wind, your aircraft and your flight path might be different. Like you might be pushed from the side and your flight path might be slightly off from your heading. So yeah, but I'm gonna use heading. If you want to change your flight level change speed, you'll have to come down to the aircraft that takes off, climb I guess, click here and write whatever speed you deem fit and press send afterwards, and then you'll see flight level change, and here it says 145. So I'm gonna set it back to 130, and here you can see it's now 130 again. Alright, let's line up. Altimeter is still on ground. Oh, and by the way, here, overlay, you can choose to have the synthetic vision on or off. And you can make it so that you have the weather radar inside of the HSI or traffic, I think. We're gonna leave it off because I don't like it. "15 flaps." I don't know why it yells at me if I don't have it. I'm gonna have de-icing on. It's a clear day, whatever, don't judge. And we're good. So takeoff power set. Engine instruments checked. Yeah, we can arm auto throttle. Airspeed live. Here comes our rotation speed. Pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne. Positive rate. Gear up. Whoops. And here I will retract flaps. Now you can see nav got captured. And I will enable autopilot. We have a message that tells us compare fuel quantity. Oh yeah, and here comes the bad auto throttle. So you gotta watch out. Have the ITT less than the red, or it will overheat. So I just manually lowered my Alright, so now I don't want to fly the whole SID. I want to go directly to our last point of the SID. So what I can do then is just click on the last point, choose, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see, choose direct to, and it will draw up the plan. I'll click activate, and we are now turning off. Christ. And we are above our transition altitude. Right click to put it in standard. And we can also change, like here it says nothing about what flight level we want to cross at, or anything other than we want to cross this waypoint. To enter more data for the FMS, you can choose cross, and we can say we want to cross at, and here you can only insert using your keyboard at 20,000 feet. Here you can see it says not over and not under flight level 200. We can also say we want a given speed, but I'm not gonna do that. Let's activate. Yeah, compare fuel quantity. We have nothing but blue skies, so inertial separator off. And the ice off. Oh, of course, I forgot. Whatever. Our tanks are similar, so I want to disregard this message. And you also get the message sign here. Clear message, and it will go away. Both places. And here you can see TA, alright. let's say I want to enter a holding at uplev. You can also hold. Select what course you want to hold at, the holding time or the distance, and left or right turns, what speed you want. Yeah, I can just enter it as is. You'll see the age appear. I'll activate, and here we have a hold. Alright, we're nearing our hold, and I want to say it seems like the airplane interprets racing tracks. If you're doing a racetrack approach into an ILS, it deems them to be holds, but it really just enters them in a non-standard way and disregards the holding path, or the hold, and just continues after it has intercepted the racetrack in a non-standard way. But yeah, here we're in the hold, so it will continue in the hold however many times we wish, and that is until we click the exit hold. But like if we continue our turn, or even if I click exit hold now, it will still complete the whole hold. If I want to cut it short, I would need to come here and go direct OSCOM, which is the next waypoint. Yeah, so I'll just click exit. And we'll be on our way. When you scale a map, so you see that number, that's the distance from your airplane to the white circle. So if we go here, you can see it's about 40 miles, 40 nautical miles to Ulmig, which is our initial point for our standard arrival. 40 miles, and we can also see that here. We can see here that it expects us to be at or below flight level 150. We can also see that if we go to the bottom here, to charts, RNAV star, click. Oh, I hate this. Alright. It thinks we're past. What? Okay, whatever. But here it also says at or below flight level 150. Um, and our top of descent is about in 15 miles. So that gives us about 15 miles to descend. And if you want to calculate that manually, it's quite easy. So we need to be at flight level 150. We're currently at flight level 200. So you take the altitude in thousands of feet. So 20 minus 15 is 5. And whatever number you get here, you just multiply it by 3. And 5 times 3 equals 15. And that is quite near to what we get here as well. 30 minus 15, or yeah, just below. Yeah. We can also set up our speeds. I don't really know what the threshold speed means. This should be our reference speed for the approach, or cross the threshold at that speed. But I'm really not sure. I will find out and put it in the comments. And this is our go around speed. But whatever, we need to send it to the plane. Yeah, direct unbump. And let's see, do we get a new Todd? Probably not, because we are too high. Alright, so we are 35 nautical miles from Unbum, and we need to cross Unbum at 3000 or above. So 20 minus 3 is 17, times 3 is 51, I think. Well, anyways, we don't have 51 miles left, so we need to get descending. Let's use vertical speed now in the beginning and set it quite high. Or quite low. So here you can see what your vertical speed is. And then I will also arm the VNav. And I will take this down to 3000. Okay. So here you can see the vertical speed, where we will be at 3000 with our current vertical speed. And I'm just blasting down now. So I'm gonna make us not nosedive as much, and I'm gonna just put this banana on Unbum, which is the point where we need to be at 3000. You can find all the charts here if you put in your route as I showed earlier. And this is the approach. And we're coming in from Unbum. We will stay at 3000 feet and intercept the localizer on 355 degrees. And the nice thing about this plane is it sends everything to, it sets everything up for you when you have selected the approach. Okay, let me just pitch down very much so you can see us capture the VNav profile. Here you see vertical path captured. I'm just gonna do the throttles manually because the auto throttle is really bad at managing the approach speed. It just chases itself. I don't care for it. And here you can see where the path wants us to be, and this is where we're at. So we're slightly below the glide path. Well, yeah. So here we can see. Let me see. The ILS or localizer is 110.95 SFJ, and this is set on both nav1 and nav2. And the course would be set on the small knob. You can see here it says the small knob, and the course is 355, and that's what's been set here. We're in front of inbound, so I will press approach. And I'll try to make it so that it's less than 90 degrees. And you can see here that localizer is armed. I don't know why. Why did that disconnect? I don't know. Let's get down. And let's make it a smooth interception. Yeah, there we see it captures the localizer. I was having a way too acute angle, so we're gonna pass it. But it should get us back onto it. And at distance 8.6 SFJ, we should begin our descent. And we are at distance 12, so we've got some time still. Yeah, now it's captured the localizer, but it's good practice to just keep the heading back the same direction that you're going. So if you need to revert to a simpler autopilot mode, it's already there, ready for you. Okay, so we're on our approach. There we captured the glide slope. I'm gonna go lower the speed, and this is the speed limit for flaps 15, and this is the speed limit for gear, and this is for flaps 30 and 40. So I'm gonna add flaps 15. I haven't added the minimums yet. We can check what are the minimums. Well, we're not a cat C or the aircraft, but well, let's put 270 in. That was the wrong one. The the minimums are here. So you see this here. We're gonna set it to 270, and that will be our the lowest we will descend. If we have cloud cover and still don't see the runway at 270, we will go around. Yeah, and before 1000 above the minimums, I will put flaps 30. Oh, yeah, I was above the flap 30 speed. Well, I do it so you don't have to. So now I'm below the flap 30 and flap 40 speed. If you're in high winds, I would suggest using less flaps, like 15 or flaps up even. And the shorter runway, the more flaps. I'm just gonna do a flap 30 landing. But yeah, that was basically everything I wanted to show. Please write comments if you have anything you wonder or tips to other people who might view this tutorial. Please be kind. I don't normally do this. I only did it because this content is lacking, and Asobo should really teach its user how to use their product. Yep.